Hello, everybody. Welcome to Scribe Mechanic. This is one of my first, well, probably my first tutorial that I'm going to attempt to do for you folks. I've had a little bit of a discussion with other folks about how you should build a vehicle and how awful and hilarious some of the vehicles that we have seen in our times of joining other multiplayer games and having other people join our games. And I'm going to do us all a favor and at least put out a tutorial for what I would call a decent you know, starter vehicle. It's probably not going to be the first thing with wheels that you build, but something that would be a great upgrade from that first vehicle. Something that you can put together relatively quick and easy with starter materials. As long as you've got your welder and your connection tool, you should be able to do this. So what we're going to need is a good stack of material, something heavy, stone. You should have a whole lot of stone. You can also use concrete or, metal 3 if you want, concrete 3. It doesn't matter. The heavier, the better. The more heavy it is, the less of it you'll need for the bottom part. You'll see what we're talking about. And a lighter material. I'm using wood because, again, it's one of the first materials that you can actually get. You can use scrap wood. Doesn't matter. It's just whichever one you like. But you want a heavy material and a lighter material. All right, you're going to want, of course, 4 wheels. Big wheels are better, but you can do this with small wheels. But why with you? Just go ahead and do the grind up. Get you some honeycomb, some wood, and, make you some big wheels. Fuel tank. It's optional, of course, but you want it. Trust me, putting gas in an engine it sucks. You want a seat 4 wide. You're going to want an engine. You're going to want a bed. It's optional, another optional piece, but they are very handy to have. You're going to want 12 elbow pieces. You're going to want 8 straight pieces, 4 T pipe pieces, 10 bearings, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 bearings. 4 sport suspension. You can use off-road, but I'd advise against it. But you can use them. If you do, you'll have to make the parts that you connect them to one block higher, or you'll be one block higher off the ground and more prone to rollover. But you can use them. And 4 bolts. And the green part here is not part of the build. It's just this over here. This is just my backboard. At least 8 component kits. The more the better. But you're going to want to upgrade the engine up to at least a level 2, and you're going to want your suspension up to level 2. All these are level 1 at the moment. We'll upgrade them in a bit. But that's what you're going to need. Now to do this, I'm going to do like I did here. As you can see, this is a starter world, just a test world. I ain't even got the mechanic station open. All of these parts are in vanilla. You don't need any mods, nothing along those lines. I am, of course, as you can see, in Fant mod because I can easily go with my little cheat thing. Well, not easily because I can't type. Oh, I had them on. Put my cheats on. Go unlimited, and then boom, I got a full inventory. Okay? But, just so I don't have to pull all these off, you can still take a look as we're building. But it's not hard to do. You're going to start off with your block, your heavy block, which was our stone. 4 wide, big enough to put your seat on, right? So we're going to get our seat. It's an interactive. Yeah, I know I could pull all those parts off the wall over there. You only want 1 block space in front of there, because that's where we're going to hook up our fuel tank, which is up here somewhere. It's an interactive, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. I knew it was in there somewhere. Let's redo the thing here. Upside down is exactly how I like it. Pull it up to where it is even with the bottom. And with the one block in front, will give you the ability to see your fuel while you're inside the vehicle. Okay? That's why we're doing that. And on the back, you're going to want to put your engine. We're going to do the level 1 engines, that one right there. Boom. Just like so. Then finish that out like so. Boom. That's what you should have here. That's basically step 1. This is your basic frame. On the front, you're going to want to come out 2 blocks here. And on the back, you're going to add a block on top and then come out. You have 1 block here and 1 block here. You can go 2 if you want, but it's not necessary. That's my dog wanting to go out. Hopefully somebody grab that. You're going to get your suspension. Raise that up a little bit. 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. No, sorry. Take those off of there. You only need 1 block up front. I don't know why I did that. Oh, sorry. 1 block up front, put the suspension there. 1 block in the back, put the suspension there. I was thinking about another vehicle that I had done that needed to be a little longer in the front to incorporate a chest, but we're not there. So now we're going to get you little 4 bolts. We've done your suspension. Now you get those little 4 bolts. You can find those in the little scrap towns along the roadside, you know, little shanty town looking things. Always got the little outhouse where you get the toilets, you need some seeds and soils, usually a little green tote bot hanging around there. On the shelves are bolted to the wall with these little bolts here. You want to put them by and put them on the bottom of the suspension. This is an optional step, but it does make it cleaner, keeps your ride a little lower, center of mass, much closer to the to your axle. So once you get those in place, next step, this is going to be the tricky part. You see how I got that there? That's almost a 1 pixel perfect looking spot there. You got to find you a spot walking around here. You know, you want your lift to be almost eye level, and you play around by getting a little farther and back, but you get that ghost up, wiggle it around, you'll find it. Then when you do, you get that 1 pixel perfect spot, boom, place it. You'll see why we're doing that here in just a second. Boom. All 4. If you're too close, it makes it harder. If you're too far away, same thing. You'll find that butter zone. Play around with it. Once you find it, you'll know exactly where it's at, and it makes it a whole lot easier in the future. But that's what you should have, is your elbow coming off of the bolt that we put in there. All right, so once you get that, next step's going to be our bearings. We're going to need a few bearings. You're going to put a bearing on each one of these. Boom, 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 and boom. Now, if you have your paint tool and you have paint, this is a perfect time to paint your bearings. Totally optional, but it's cleaner. Your next step is going to be your T-pipes. You're going to want a T-pipe on each one of the bearings that you just placed. Like so. Then you'll get your little short straight pipes and connect those. This is where your welder comes into play. Anytime you put one moving part to another moving part, you'll have to weld them together. Click, drag, click, drag. Now that's a solid bar. You come back and put one more on all four sides to lengthen said axle that you're just now making. Next, we'll need a down elbow on all four. On the back, put the out elbow. On the front, we go back to the bearing, because this is where we're going to put our steering. Again, if you got your paint tool, paint your bearings before you cover them up. And then put the outer elbow there. It is possible to, in the future, put a bearing here on the back so you can have four-wheel steering. It's not necessary for the moment. Oh, we already got our bearings in our pocket. So then bearings on the outside. This is where we will attach our wheels. And this is also when it's a really good idea to go ahead and do your upgrades. Upgrade your engine at least once, and each one of your suspension. You want at least level 2 on everything here. The suspension will not need to be upgraded ever again, unless you really add some weight to it, like by adding chest or something. Then you might want to increase the suspension. The engine, you're going to want to increase as much as you possibly can. And the seat, I mean, yes, you're going to want to increase that to level 5 so you can play with your steering angles. We're not going to do that today. And then you would get your tires. Pop them on. Boom, 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 and boom. This is your sled. Now you can hook it up now. First connection will always be seat to the engine. If you don't do that, you are asking for trouble. One day your vehicle's going to run away. Gas to the engine. This is why we upgraded our engine now, because a level 1 engine can only do 2-wheel drive, but we want 4. Don't forget that your driver's side, you will want to flip your bearings. Seat, we'll go to the flat bearings. So you're not hooking anything to these. These are free floaters. You want to hook you up to your flat bearings up front for your steering. And considering that they're on top, you're going to want to flip those. If we were coming from underneath, you'd leave them alone. One from the top. That's all you really need. And you can take it all the way. It doesn't matter that much. I just like it slightly softer. And if you wanted to, that's enough. You can turn. Well, you got to put some gas in it. It will not go without gas. And we gotta put some power to the engine. Now you got your nice little sled. Good frame. And the reason I like the suspension here that we put together is you got some good flex. That's why I like it. Now this is just the frame. Now you can decorate it however you want, but I'm going to show you why we have 2 different materials. Your bed will be part of your tailgate. I don't know why I picked it up off of there. You just grab it here. You're going to put the bed right there. That's going to be like the bed of your truck, so to speak. Okay? With me so far? Awesome. Now, all the way from the front to the back, at the suspension, put 2 more. At the suspension. Okay? So you're going to want to do that, and then all the way back here. Boom. Do not put anything here. This line here, this is a no-no. This is a no-no line. This is where your axle is going to be traveling up to. You got to have that open or your suspension won't travel. So do not put anything there. Same here. Nothing goes there at all. So this is just so you got the weight down low and at your axle level. Everything down here needs to be heavy. Your heavier materials, your lighter materials up top. So I like to have me a little running board from the back of the seat to one in front. The back of the seat to one in front. You want to make sure that your front tires have enough room to turn and nothing goes, in the box of your rear tire, the suspension travel. You know what I'm saying? And from here, it's pretty much decorating it out. So I'm going to grab my lighter material because you got a vehicle now. You just want to make it look good from this point on. So from the back, about seat level, I'm going to come up and form out. Oh, that is not the material that I wanted. Change to the lighter material. Form out the back. Go ahead and box that in. Like so. That way you can still be able to hop in. You want to make sure that you leave that open-ish there. Pretty sure, yeah, we're going to cover that up from the top. Again, remember, don't put anything here. Yeah, make sure that's even. Cool deal. And then up top, you just blammo. Leave that such. And here we'll go up about 3. I think that's high enough. Yeah, so you want it right above your head level. Perfect. Go forward 4. And then connect those dots there. So you got you a nice little hole to jump out of. And then you should be able to... Oh, no, don't connect those yet, because we're going to pop that off. Go 3. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. And connect that. So you can hop out. Gives you a little bit of a windshield looking thing there. Close that. I normally go a little bit longer, apparently, but it doesn't have to be exact every single time you're doing this, right? And if you go into a warehouse, you can grab you some wedges and clean this up, remove all this, and just do it with wedges. But we're not doing that. This is all vanilla, easy, straight out of your warehouse. And then do this to get you a nice little fender. Same in the back. Same on the other side. And I'll tell you, they don't always look the same. Every single one you do is going to be slightly different. This is not the exact same as the one that I just built to test to make sure that I had all the pieces. It looks slightly different. Back here, you can fill this in all you want. I like to leave it open where I can reach back here and adjust my engine. But I do like to have, like I said, you want to leave that space there open. I like to have it like that. You look into here, you can see that the axle is going to be able to travel inside that spot there. This allows me, it looks like a nice pickup truck body, but it allows me to run back here, check my engine, all that good stuff. You can leave that open. I don't like to. I like to run this out just one more, even with the front. I don't like to go two, just one. Kind of even with the front. Like that. And then if I get some wedges, I'll put a couple of wedges. I'll either take that one off for wedges if I'm going more off-road, or I'll put the wedges down in front of the axle there. But that, and then you add lights. There's other pieces that you can add up here for, like, if you're going into a warehouse, I like to grab these duct corners and duct pieces here. This is only if you're going into a warehouse, okay, folks? Because you're not going to have these normally. But it's something for you to go look for to add a little bit of flair to your vehicle. Boom, there's your nice little hood scoop, okay? But you can only get those in the warehouse in survival mode in vanilla. If you're in Fant mod, you can make the rounded corners, but you can't make these pieces. Got to get them out of the warehouse. There are other options, and of course you could use blocks, wedges. There's other things that you can get to decorate your vehicle up, but none of it is necessary. But that is a good, solid starter vehicle. Let's crank that engine up a little bit because we added some weight. One from the top. On a level 2 engine, I think that is good. It's not overpowered. It'll get you where you need to go. It's very stable for its size. You got enough ground clearance to go over most of the ground obstacles you're going to find. And it doesn't flip every single time you hit a bump. In fact, I think you can slam that sucker and start drifting it without too much trouble. But there you go. Quick and easy. Yeah, these little things here. This is where you get your bolts from. I'll show you that since we're right here. Right there they are, right there on the shelf. You got the screw side, and on the back of the wall, you got the nut side. You can use either one. I just like those because they're flat, nice, flush, clean fit. Of course, you can always get you some little boards here for license plates, decorations, all kinds of neat little stuff. Those are a gold mine. Now, once you get that set up, if you want to upgrade one more thing to make this a good little loot vehicle, would be to add these little chests here. That is not necessary, but if you're going to add them, break you out a spot here. I believe they're 3 by 4. I think it might be 4. Let's go ahead and open that up. And one more there. Yeah, it's got to be one more there. All right, there we go. Fit it in like so. And then put back whatever you broke out of it to make it fit. Right? No, that wasn't that. Or you can't put that. Hang on a sec. No. Up front. Because of the way I've done the fender pieces. It's just a matter of putting them back in there to where you had it at. And close that back up. Close this back up. Like so. Keeps it kind of in the middle. You just want it somewhere in between here. And for this particular setup, because you can't build to the outside of these, it's just easier to have it where the door is. And of course you do the same thing on the other side. Crank that out of there. That out of there. And put it in there. So that's how easy it should have been had I not tried to put it back here first. And you got your weight centered, easy to go, ready to go to the warehouses and start looting up all kinds of stuff. And that would be the basic truck that I would say that is a very good. I find it very stable, very easy to build. It's not resource intensive. It only uses 4 more bearings than your standard slam it together vehicle does. And I think those 4 bearings are very valuable in making it a little more stable. So there you go. You guys have fun and send me some pictures. Let me know how yours turn out. And if you enjoy it, make sure you hit that like, thumbs up, follows, subscribes, all that good stuff. You know how those things work. And we'll catch you on the next one, folks. Y'all have a great one. Bye-bye.